Okay, the Large Kiku. It's the large version, 4.6-inch blade, folder, liner lock, micarta handles. This is not a flipper. It does take a little wrist action to get her open, but it's plenty quick. It's very sharp. First up, let's try a little bit of junk mail, shall we? See what happens. This is newsprint as a newspaper, and as you probably know, much thinner than the printer paper is, so it's harder to do these shaving cuts without ripping. I'd say that this is performing quite well at this. This is not an easy task for any knife that has not only not been specially sharpened, in other words, I haven't done anything with it, this is straight out of the box, but it's actually been carried for several weeks now doing random odd jobs. So let's see if we can do a push cut with it. It started. Push cuts are even harder to keep the paper from ripping because you're not doing any sort of slicing. You're just pushing it straight into the paper to see if it's sharp enough to separate it. And this is close, but it's not quite there. Again, I've been using it for a few weeks now. But to be able to do even the slicing with newsprint, that's very, very sharp. Okay, the Large Kiku 4.6-inch blade. Now, I am always abusing blades when I go out here and start chopping them. Since this is a folder, I'm going to start with something a little smaller and just see how this rolls with smaller, bit of chopping, and then we'll take it from there. Basically, in a survival situation, you shouldn't have to go out and chop down full trees anyway. Not bad. Okay, well, now we're going to go for something a little bit larger and see how the Kiku does on this. All right, we're chipping through it pretty good. Kiku's standing up. It's just a little bit hard when you're dealing with a knife that's not designed for this to do something of this magnitude. Again, can't stress how much this is abusive to this knife. Not something you should be doing. But in a pinch, you could. I just wouldn't recommend it. Whew. All right. think that counts. It's enough for me. It's a Large Kiku folder. 4.7 inches, excuse me, 4.6 inches of liner lock. Badassed them. Okay, here we are back with the Kiku. I've just cut down 2 trees with it. And if you look at the blade, it's a little messy, but what I don't see is any sort of problem along the edge. There's no chipping, anything like that going on. No bends. It's still straight. Looks good. And see if it's retained any sharpness. Got some more of the junk mail newsprint. See if we have anything here. Look at that, not as easy as before, but that's still cutting through the newsprint junk mail. That's pretty freaking incredible. That is amazing edge retention. Hope you're catching all this. Oh. Well, they say running it through paper is one of the ways to make a nice doll, and maybe we're getting there, but it's still doing pretty good as far as I'm concerned, especially after the beating that we just put on this blade. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. The Kiku folder, I just wanted to demonstrate very quickly that even though we just cut 2 trees down with this, everything is still functioning properly. So as you can see, everything flips open nicely, locks open. Lockup is still solid as $1. Well, maybe not solid as $1, maybe more than that, because the dollar's not that solid these days, it seems. But it's locked up nicely. Blade's not moving. The pocket clip's not moving. Everything's in place, even though it's been vibrated and beaten. So that's pretty impressive. Kiku folder from SOG.